basically the purpose of this exercise is to test out our character development system for each show. Should only take 30 to 45 minutes.
This is not a finished system. This is a first draft. Expectations are extremely low. So really this is just to get it on its feet and see how it goes. There is no, like, thank you.
Yeah, there's no
Thank you
like
in
wrong
advance.
answers with anything that's about to happen, and also like again, it's for us gathering data. So like, if anything is like too awkward, there's a sort of awkwardness that's just inherent to it. But if anything's like too awkward, then like we will have that data for us to like adjust our system.
The big thing is that this is a system intended for our actors to use.
And in that case, tell them about it.
Yeah, so this is a system for our actors to use. The idea is that there is no set characters. The characters are built with every show, so every show is very different.
If you ever played a video game before, and sometimes they have a little dice there when you're making a character in the beginning. So this is kind of like a character generation system. So every time we have a show, there's like little differences and traits of like the sort of characters we have.
Yeah, and so we have the general categories of archetype, industry, personal objective, and job title. These get shuffled up, rearranged to try and create the semblance of a person. Most of that lives in archetype, their personality, sort of the way, their general behavior. Industry and job title is a lot of their backstory. What do they do and where do they do it? What kind of knowledge would they have? What kind of experience do they have in their past? And personal objective, obviously all of our contestants in the show have the goal to win the overall game, but they all have their own sub-objectives, things that they want to do, which involves little tasks they can ask players to do for them.
And when we say contestants, we have to make that distinction.
Yeah.
So this is a show that is kind of like a parody of a game show. That's my most simple way of
Business
saying
game show.
And when we say contestants, we're talking about our performers, our actors, which are the people who are these characters that are generated from these various traits and qualities. We should probably say patrons.
Yeah.
Talking about
for
audience members. So these
audience.
characters are basically interacting with audience members, and yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more or less covers it. It's pretty much it's a character generation system. The big questions that we have because we designed it are, is this useful for an actor? Is it missing pieces that are going to be necessary? What are the pain points when trying to quickly use this to develop a character ready to go in a show? That's my question mostly, is which ones are useful, which ones aren't? Is there anything missing, or is there too much? No idea. Hence, playtesting this.
There are elements in each of these that refer to specific things that are in the show that nobody here knows anything about. So please, if I'm looking at something like what the fuck is a fax romana, ask us and we will explain very briefly all the information you need to know about a fax romana. I think for the purposes of moving this along, we just go straight into it cold and see how much of a hot mess it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Sit in a row.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, right here. Fine.
Right here.
Yes. Now, at this point in time, we would like to open up the floor to any questions. This is an in-world game show.
In-world game show. Okay. I have to remember any game show I've seen.
Okay, I could just, for anyone, why are you here today?
Oh, if it's okay, I'm gonna go first.
Whatever.
Okay. Okay. Well, actually, so essentially, I work for a marketing company. I'm a marketing director for the company. And actually, on it's called Home Appliance Goods, and on chapter, I think 3, paragraph 4, sentence number 8, we had a sentence essentially that said that they want different shapes of spatulas. So I've been thinking about a jingle for the spatula shape that I want. I was thinking we could all do hearts because people want more love in their lives. So I've just been trying to. I just have been trying to kind of promote the jingle. It goes like this: Hearts in the spatula, hearts in the spatula. We have spatulas, and they have hearts. So that's kind of why I'm here.
Thanks, I guess. Make a note.
Wow, that was. You know, you tried. Yeah. What?
Next question. That could be a great jingle. You've got some talent, kid.
You think so?
You've got potential.
Thank you. You really
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
What was that?
Anyone, first come, first serve.
Oh, you know, I'm climbing the corporate ladder. You know, I'm really dedicated to the grind set. You know, so probably, I mean, honestly, next Jeff Bezos probably, like, but that's like 2 years from now. So I don't know, 5 years, my God, like, probably on Mars or something. I don't know.
About 10 years. 10 years is an abstraction of time, honestly. Probably our company will have gotten Game of the Year again. You know, at a certain point, you have to think, what's beyond Game of the Year?
So, my question is, if you win this game, how will you be celebrating?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously I'm gonna win, because I don't lose effort. But you know, I don't have time to celebrate. I got some tractors to manufacture, and you know, the farming industry is a fast-paced industry, and I actually look, I don't have time to sleep, let alone celebrate. So so I will be using my earnings to make more tractors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if it's not like too much of an inconvenience to you two, if I were to win this,
It would be.
This is literally just a PR stuff for me, kids, so you're great.
Okay. Well, I think that if I were to win, I would definitely mourn the loss of these two, and they're losing the game. But after I mourned their loss, it probably would do like a small funeral or something for them. After that, I have this actual like, it's so cute. It's a kitty cat, and I think I would hold it and then whisper into its ear sweet nothings. That's just something that I really like to do, honestly, to celebrate at the end of every single day, because every day is a gift, and I like to celebrate the gift I was given every day, but, you know, I think it would just make it more special if I were to win this game.
I was gonna say Coke, but now I feel like an asshole. Sherry.
I have a question for all contestants. You will be evaluated on your response time. Could all of you please, at the same time, explain, without interrupting each other, what your favorite food is and why? You have 30 seconds. Go.
Cupcakes, because of the sprinkles and the pink frosting that's usually on them.
Grass-fed beef and nothing but, preferably raw, actually. Yeah. We don't need to cook our food, all right? It's just a waste of time.
I would say corn. It's versatile. It's amazing. You can pop it, and what food isn't made better by exploding it? You can also steam it. It can be on the cob.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think I explained this properly. Why the food you like is better than your opponent's food. You have 30 seconds. Go.
As I was saying, you can explode it as these other two options. You can't really, and still retain the vibe of the food, so to speak. Was that an interruption? Oh, I believe it was. Yes. I think I've said enough, honestly.
I'm just saying that if your digestive tract is wussy enough that you have to cook or explode kernels of corn, or I don't remember what you said because honestly I wasn't paying attention, but you know, I just think that
That's time. Thank you. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, everybody. Fantastic work. All of you love each other. Please break character. Please. Last thing we need to do.
So funny.
Food isn't better by exploding.
Last thing we need to run, and I want to keep things moving. I have a bunch of questions, but what questions do you guys have?
Well, if you have them, I'd start with them.
Okay, I got one to start with. So this is obviously a bunch of different stuff. What, if anything, was particularly easy or difficult to parse, find purchase on, or otherwise? Like, did you feel like there was enough things, too many things?
Yeah, my first thought is perhaps a lot of information to throw at once.
Sure.
Like, I'm an actor. I'm dumb. I want everything to like fit on something the size of my hand. Because weirdly that can give you more. Yeah.
I think like the archetypes were definitely the most helpful.
Yes.
And then the industry, like, I don't think we need to know the sub-industries necessarily. And like, I like the personal objective as well as the job title, but I think it can just be like a boom, boom, boom type of situation.
I did find that for me in the first one, having that sub-industry was helpful because then I could latch on to like, oh, AAA gaming. But I did find myself mostly going after the archetype.
Yeah.
I have a bunch, but I would love other people to ask some, so I'm not the only one asking questions.
I currently can't think of any.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Great, I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Talking about job title versus industry, how did you feel about those? I mean, obviously there were comments about industry, but was it clear and flexible to have those split? Or would it make more sense to combine those two?
Combine them together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my lizard brain didn't even recognize that, oh, this is what I do in my industry. I was like, that doesn't apply to me, whatever.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So I guess the follow-up to that is, and this is kind of a bit behind the scenes, we obviously we want to try to, as this is obviously not a pure testing environment because we're just doing this in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we are trying to avoid is everybody kind of we can't really get to that point here, but we're trying to avoid people sinking into the same tropes every show, which was one of the logics behind splitting industry and job title, with the assumption that like with proper workshopping we can help give people a bit more of a variety. But it is interesting that you pointed out that sub-industry was something that was a bit of a trip up. Is that something where is it the way that it's structured now that makes it a bit difficult to parse?
I mean, I wonder, because I see big wild card at the top, and that's almost just too vague for me.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, if I had a thing that pulls that's like, you make slime for a living, which is one of the sub-industries here, that is actually wildly specific and not tropey.
Yeah, I feel like the more specific, specific you can get with the sub-industries, the more it leaves room for, it's like an oxymoron juxtaposition. Like the more specific you are with the sub-industries, the more play that we can have, the more freedom we have.
So would you think it was easier than if we had a wider gamut of very specific, like, you do slime, rather than you do something that's vaguely here and here's some sub-options?
Yes.
Like, this is the one you do and it's weird and it's very niche, very
Yeah,
specific.
I think that would be very helpful.
If theoretically we were to keep industry and have industry be specific and strip title and just say, you pick whatever hierarchy rank you want to have at said company, would you prefer that, or title and business doesn't matter?
I think if your purpose of having the title is to display hierarchical structures, you should just do the hierarchical structures. But I don't know if that is the intent of, like, marketing director might have more of might be higher status than an intern, you know?
Well, the one thing I want us to avoid is running into stereotype.
Right.
Because the thing that's really fun is like having the whip be a marketing director is
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like having them be in charge
Yeah.
and having them have that power dynamic.
Which was so helpful too,
Yeah.
because if I was just a wimp, then it was like, okay, then I can just leave.
Yeah, if you were a wimp and you were like an intern.
It's like,
I would
there's no
go.
reason, right?
Yeah.
But then like, because I was like passionate about the new jingle I came up with and like really wanted that for my company, like it gave me more of a reason to
The
stay.
juxtaposition of high,
Yeah.
high power but low personality.
Yeah, like it's like a dialectic kind of nature that like each character I think should have, you know.
Specifically archetypes. It seemed like all three of you jumped on those like they were slow-moving vehicles and not a challenge at all, which is great. But I wanted to know if you guys had any thoughts about like this kind of page. Too much, too little, just right. What would you want more of? What would you want less of? Should we burn it all down and pick a new profession? What are you thinking? How you feeling?
I think in general the archetype thing is the easiest and from an improvisatory standpoint the funnest.
Of course.
To glom onto. And what works here so well is that you're going from flaws, because flaws are actually where the comedy comes in. Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know, for you guys,
Yeah.
this was about the max amount of text that I would ever
Yeah, I
want
feel
to
like it
receive
didn't
on a
need
page.
more.
But I didn't feel like it needed more.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it needs less. I don't know.
I felt very whelmed.
Yeah.
Not over, not under.
Yeah.
Just whelmed. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Pretty well.
Yeah.
Was that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I immediately saw that we get a little conflation between the egotist and intellect in the first round.
Yeah.
So there's some archetypes I think we need to relook at, and that's something Scott and I know we had trouble with. Where like, differentiating between like, is this actually distinct from each other, or is it going to all conflate to the same egotistical business executive person?
The biggest sand trap.
Yeah. Which again goes back to the issue of like stereotyping and.
Yeah, I think if we get rid of the egotist and
Find something to
sub
replace it.
something else in.
Yeah.
In fact, honestly, like based off of the ones we have, can I just, what are the 7 again? I want to just make sure I like get this right before I say it.
Okay, so it's wimp, intellect, go-getter, egotist, aristocrat, slacker, and manipulator.
We don't have one that's really like more gentle. Like I'm thinking of like something a little bit more like maybe passive aggressive or like
I almost thought paternal. I was like,
I remember. I think we. Yeah, make it weird.
I'm,
yeah, I know. That's why I was like, no.
I'm picturing like if it happened that they ended up like somebody who now owns a chain of yoga studios and makes so much money, like
Because all of them are eventually going to be cutthroat, right? Why don't we have one of the archetypes be a genuinely nice person?
That's why I said something a little more gentle.
Oh, I don't mean passive aggressive. I mean somebody who is just a nice,
Actively too nice.
actively is just a nice, wholesome, good person.
They're boring.
No, they're
No.
not. They're a control variable, and it gives the rest of the cast something to play with.
My concern is
Yeah.
they are funny around the other people, but are they funny on their own?
Absolutely.
In a show with a ball pit
Absolutely.
and a spacecraft, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think you're overthinking it. Because honestly, like
Their utter mundaneness is funny in the context of like the space they're in. So
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh yeah, that happens all the time.
Sure, juxtaposition of a normal person in extreme circumstances. Sure. It does sound like, as a whole, archetypes need more differentiation
yes.
and need to make it so when you play them up to 11, they are not running into each other and blending into the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, the system works. It just needs adjustments, tweaks.
Which is pretty much what we figured we'd be at with it. Yeah.
And the good thing is, since they had fun, that means that we can steal them again.
Yeah.
They did have fun. They had a lot of fun.
Yeah, when I went to
The
go get
moment
my
they got their stacks,
It's like
when I gave
killing.
yeah, they all just laughed immediately.
Yeah, no, it is heartening that it's like, okay, they had, like, they immediately picked them up and said, haha, this is funny.
Yeah.
And then used it and then said, I would like to do that again. Means like, okay, so this is a functional enough system that it is enjoyable to use.
would not
Even
be
in
exhausting
a more or
to
less
total.
unfinished state, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Amazing.
it's a good sign.
All right.